What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bluegrass State of Mind, the show where three college roommates talk life, sports, and all the ridiculous things that happen in an apartment we like to refer to as Room 302. We're bringing you stories, hot takes, and the kind of late-night debates that probably should have stayed in the group chat.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through our past college life, sports, and everything in between. Let's get into it. This is Bluegrass State of Mind.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. As you all can see, if you're watching our video again, Mason is not with us again tonight. If you're listening in, tuning in through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, whatever it may be, thank you for listening in. I'm a little upset at Mason currently. We've had a lot of issues with going on. If he's going to be here, if he's not going to be here.
Our boy's been MIA
Yeah,
as he's trying to get this. He's moving into a new house. He's working on it, and he has disappeared.
we got to work on his communication skills. It's really what we got to work on. But regardless, as we stated last week, Bluegrass State of Mind, the show goes on. We always move forward. Okay, so some exciting news, Colton. You sent to us. You actually got a hold of it before any of us did. But the UK basketball schedule released on Wednesday. Very, very intriguing, eye-opening, eye-catching, whatever you want to. I mean, there's a lot going on. So let's break some of this down for the listeners tonight. So, first game of the season. That's not an exhibition game, but like your first true game of the season is the Louisville Cardinals. Before we break that down, let's just talk a little bit. Like you sent something. You said 6 of the first 9 games that we play consist of Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, and St. John's. All of the teams listed right there won at least 19 games last year. And 4 out of the 6 won 25 games. 2 won 30 games. Collectively, these teams went 156 and 56, which is a 73.6% winning percentage. Way too early preseason rankings has St. John's at number 3, Louisville at number 7, ourselves Kentucky at number 9, North Carolina at 12, Indiana 19, and Gonzaga at 23.
They don't have Michigan State ranked?
That not for the way too early preseason rankings that I was looking at. But regardless, 5 of those are in the top 25 right off the bat.
Right.
However, the only thing that I was really looking at, I don't know if this caught your eye as well, and I just want to hear some of your thoughts on it, is out of all those games against Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, and St. John's, I feel like the only true road game that we will have is Louisville.
It's Louisville, yeah.
Because we play...
Yeah. The rest
Michigan
of neutral
State,
sites are home.
Yeah, most are neutral sites, but then even like at the neutral sites, like we play Gonzaga at Bridgestone.
Right. That's Kentucky.
That's Kentucky. We play Indiana at Rupp Arena. We play St. John's at Atlanta. Like, I mean, like, that's going to be more favorable. So that's one good thing that I was thinking about. I mean,
for sure.
But let's dive a little bit deeper in to the whole Louisville being your first game of the season. I want it because that's always been, now growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, that game was always played on New Year's because that's my birthday. New Year's Eve. It was always, I was born, my dad, he tells me like he was watching us play Louisville when I was born, like that. It was always that. And, you know, that's kind of, I wouldn't say the middle point, but that's kind of where you start to really gel and find your team is late December, early January.
Well, it's usually the last game right before you really start SEC play. Yeah. So, like, you've played the Champions, or you played 1 or 2 teams like that, and then you kind of go through your, warm-up game type teams, and then you face your rival team, which was a really good opponent, right before you enter SEC play, and so it's but yeah, so I mean, for that game to be the first game of the year,
Yeah, like what's your true thoughts about that? Like, do you like it? Do you hate it?
I
Like, what
mean,
is it? Is it something that you
I
could maybe see that would benefit us? I'll tell you my thoughts after you. I just want to hear what you
well,
think
I'll
about
say
it.
this. This is my here's my thoughts on it. I think it could. There's going to be some benefits and some downfalls. So, like, we're going to find out early. Like I was talking about it before this. Like, there ain't going to be no hiding early on behind some easy wins. Like, your 6 of your first 9 games are against essentially top
Oh,
25 teams.
your quad one wins are going to be out there.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean, they're
that,
right there.
we might break our own record
Correct,
last year. What do we have,
correct.
15 or something? I
Yeah,
mean, like it's going to be out there.
it's going to be right there. And the thing is, like I said, I think there's 1 or 2 games after the St. John's game, but then your very first SEC game is at Alabama. So, I mean, we're not talking like, where's Alabama in the preseason rankings?
I would have to look. I can pull up,
But
but keep going. I'll let you know.
but they, so I mean, you just think about that. I mean, here's my excitement though. When it gets to that time period, how excited do we get for UK basketball, right? Or
Hmm.
everyone's getting excited because most likely a football team by November 11th has kind of let us down for the year. We're at the final stages, last few games where no one really cares because it's not really been that meaningful lately. And you're ready for basketball. Everyone's like, "Oh, I can't wait for Kentucky basketball because Kentucky football is pretty much done." And you know that you're going to get the Champions Classic game. You're always like, "Okay," but normally the last couple of years it's either been the first game the Champions Classic game has, or you've played like a warm up game right before the Champions Classic. Now, not only are you playing a high quality team, but you're playing your biggest rival the opening game of the year. So I honestly think it's going to add a ton of excitement. One, also, I think you're going to get the Louisville fans back engaged with it because they don't have a chance yet to see if their team's terrible,
Yeah, no,
correct?
Louisville
Like that's
might
the
be the
thing.
real deal this year.
They could be, and that's the thing. But they're going to be good. But like you don't have a chance yet to have it be a month and a half into the season and see. Well, like last year, that one guy got hurt for Louisville in the Thanksgiving tournament at the Battle of Atlanta. It's like
Yeah,
and they had a couple of injuries, before they even played us, and we still I feel like we would have won regardless, but. You saw how Louisville turned out like the rest of the year, like the second half of the season. I mean, they were one of the top 3 teams in the ACC, and really looks like they could make a decent tournament run.
yeah,
So I mean, and they went out and they've got a great recruiting class, and they went and got a good transfer class, and I just think the hype around it is going to be unreal. Like I mean, the opening game, everyone's so excited for the first game. The only thing I don't like is I'm pretty sure it's played on like a middle of a weekday. Like I may be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure it's November 11th. I'd have to look at what the calendar
it's
date. What day is November 11th?
yeah, it's on November 11th. I don't know what day that
I
is.
don't I don't either. I don't have the calendar in front of me. So that's the only thing is like it being like a 7 o'clock on like maybe a Wednesday night in the middle of the almost getting into winter
Hmm.
time. It's kind of a bummer because people will be working compared to if it was the first game of the year, like 5 o'clock on a Saturday or six,
Yeah,
7. Like it could be, but man, I mean, you're going to find out a lot. There's going to be a lot of hype
yeah,
around that game. You love the rivalry, the opening game. Everyone's looking for basketball season to be here. I mean, all eyes will be. I mean, I would say it'll break a viewership record. I mean, it'd be like it
yeah.
means the same thing
Uh,
as like North Carolina and Duke opening the game against each other.
hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking? So I
Well,
I like the hype around it, but we'll see if it benefits us or
yeah.
not.
I was gonna say Alabama is not in the top 25. I looked at the way too
Are they really
early.
not?
Yeah, I didn't
Really?
have them. Um, so my thoughts on the whole Louisville being the first game of the season, I totally get the hype. Like I do. I think that is that that is true on everything that it's going to bring to the game, the atmosphere, to the fan bases, the possibility of Louisville being back. Before I move on, though, I want to touch a little like Louisville, like I said, they could be the real deal. They got this freshman guard, Mikael Brown Jr. was a 5-star recruit. Won the 3-point contest at the McDonald's All-American game during the 17 or 18 under you All-American, whatever it was that they tried out, where Marino got cut and Jasper Johnson made it through. Like, he was one of the highlights of that team. They said it was just like he was making some eyes turn. Then they have this Adrian Woolley, who is the Conference USA Player of the Year last year at Kennesaw State. He's averaged 19 points per game. Another guy that they have coming in is Ryan Conwell, a senior transfer from Xavier, who averaged 16.5 points and is projected to already be a first-team All-ACC guy. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know these guys, this team. I've not watched them. I'm just reading off what some of the stuff that I've gathered. But just based alone on paper, I mean, it seems to me, and that's just like their three main guys that like are going to probably be the leaders of that team. But, you know, I think for me, I do not like it, but Louisville being the first game. And the reason why I say that is because when we face Louisville, or when you face a big team or a rivalry, I feel like both fan bases want to be as close, if not to their best potential. And the reason for that is because, in the past times when we've played a Duke in the CBS Classics, it don't bother us too much because, I mean, it does bother us. We hate losing, but at the same time, it's understandable because it's the second or third game of the season.
Right.
It's not like, okay, this is not our full team. This is not our January or our late December. Like, this is not,
Right.
we're still trying to get a feel for it. So I guess and then also just the tradition of me being used to playing. That's hard for me to wrap my head around. Like, it's not going to be later in the year, and I don't know. I get the aspect of the hype coming around it. It's just a lot of it is what I said, the breaking of tradition, and I want our team to play Louisville because I can't stand Louisville. I want to play them
Right.
at our best, and but the thing about it is Louisville also has to do the same thing. They have to go out there and play us the first game, just like we have to play them the first game. But I absolutely agree that I think that it's going to be unreal atmosphere. Maybe not as crazy as it could possibly be if it was on a Saturday afternoon. But
Right.
regardless, there's going to be Louisville fans and Kentucky fans. Pat
Oh,
Kelsey,
yeah.
I mean, has done a
He
phenomenal
has.
job building Louisville. I mean, you just think back to 2 years ago when Kenny Payne was
Yeah.
losing to Kentucky Wesleyan
Yeah.
and stuff like. As much as I do hate Louisville, I hated to see an in-state, like, especially our in-state rivalry. Obviously, yeah, I love going over there and winning, but like, you want to go over there and beat them when they
Yeah.
have a good team too, like, because it's just like, it's
Right.
expected.
And
Like,
with those
no,
couple years, if you looked at the couple years that we played Louisville there at home, I mean, Kentucky fans were as many people in the Yum Center as there was Louisville fans, there because their team was so down.
yeah,
Well, that is not going to happen. You'll
nope,
have some
no,
Kentucky fans sneak in, but
yeah,
look, I mean, we went to, we got to go and watch that first round NCAA tournament game that was played at Rupp that Louisville got to play Creighton at. And I mean, you talk about they filled the entire Rupp arena of Louisville fans. Like there was like 4 or 5. I mean, there's like 6 different teams there at that regional, and I mean, they had everyone there. I mean, they filled it with red. I mean, it was all Louisville fans. So I mean, that place is going to be packed. Like they're
yeah,
back. Their fan base is starting to come back. They're hyped. They see the potential. They see the recruiting. They see, and now you're playing. They're like, okay, we're back. Like,
uh-huh,
on maybe we can get on that Kentucky level again.
yeah.
And so first game at Louisville,
And like we said, and that's, I guess, the other thing that is just whenever you go out and you schedule a monster schedule like we have, you can lose not a full fan base, but you can lose those, what kind of fans I'm referring, like
yeah,
those fans quick,
hmm
because we had been so used to, other than last year. I mean, granted, last year, I mean, Mark Pope was a dog on the quad one opponents,
right,
but before that, like, just take the CBS Classic itself, where
Right.
we had lost like 4 years ago. It was like, here we go again. Another time playing a top team and getting exposed, or not exposed, but just losing. Like, and
Right.
we won all those last year, pretty much, other than a few here and there. But I mean, for the most
Yeah.
part, early on, especially, we
Yeah.
were winning those quad one wins. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can do that again, and what the dynamic is going to be of BBN if we don't win. What would you call a success, Colton,
Ooh.
on just
Yeah.
alone those 6 games? Let's talk a little bit
Those
about
6
that.
games before you start in the SEC play, I mean, at worst, you got to go 3-3. 4-2 is a success. If you go 4-2 in those games, and especially if you beat Louisville, like Louisville's one of your 4-2s, like I could live with, well, here's the thing: you got to win the home. Like Indiana's coming to Rupp, you got to win that one. Like they're coming to Rupp, you've got to win that one. And you're playing Gonzaga in Nashville. They're flying across the country. You need to win that one.
Play
And to
North
me,
Carolina at home.
and you need to play North Carolina home. You need to win that one. So to me, those are the 3 you have to win. And then I prefer to win the Louisville game. And then I could live with getting beat to Michigan State and St. John's in the classics.
Yeah.
But I think 4-2 has got to be the goal. Ideally, I mean, you do better than that. But if you get the 4-2, it's been pretty successful. That's just such a tough stretch. And you're talking about a different type of, like St. John's is going to be good. I mean,
they're preseason 3.
yeah. So,
They got
it's
one
just
of our
it's
older guys. They got
lot. Bryce Hopkins.
Hopkins. They say
they're
he's
going to be a
looking
physical
good.
team. That's what Patino preaches. He's going to be, and there's a storyline there itself, and Patino and former player and Mark Pope, and it's going to be an exciting beginning of the season.
Yeah,
a very exciting beginning. Hey, the first exhibition game, Purdue.
Yeah, Mark Pope did not shy away from
scheduling. They
scheduling.
ranked number 1.
Yeah, 1.
So our exhibition game is against the number 1 ranked team in the country. So that's
It's at Rupp Arena, though.
It's at Rupp Arena, but we play number 1 team in the country just as an exhibition game. Get ready, lock in. It's a
let's go. That's why you came here.
It is.
And those players are going to understand that right from the bat. It won't take, but after the Louisville game, they will be in full Kentucky mode.
Yeah.
Immediately. You're either going to get all the love, or you're going to get,
or they will be like, you better run the table the rest of the way, because if you don't, so.
Well, it's exciting news. The Commonwealth should be excited. Football's right around the corner, and then basketball schedule releasing. It's always good times. But let's get on to a segment that we had proposed to each other. We're going to talk a little about annoying fan bases. Did you write 1? Did you write down 2 or 3? What'd you do?
I just wrote down 2.
Okay, I have 3. But I can do 2 and just slightly maybe mention 1. Well, then if I have 3, I'm going to this one's like one of the last ones I put, but I'll start with my 3rd one real quick, and then you can go 2.
You go ahead
and I'll
and
go
do
2.
your 3rd one.
Okay. So my 3rd one is going to be Alabama football.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because, see Alabama, they remind me of UK basketball in a lot of ways. And the reason why I say that is because the expectations are always ridiculous. And if they don't meet those expectations, then it's never enough. Like even on successful games, successful seasons, it seems like it's never enough. It's either championship or bust. And that's just it's really annoying. Like coming from a Kentucky football state of mind, and like Alabama has a success, you're just like, dude, that's just so annoying. Like, why? Like, be happy for your team. At least you're doing this. And at the same time, I'm looking on the inside or looking on the outside. Like, that's the way that I view Kentucky basketball in a sense. So I kind of get why people probably think that Kentucky can be annoying. I don't think we're the most annoying, but I don't know. That just really bugs me. And also just Roll Tide. Like I
Roll
like saying
Tide.
it. I like
Roll
saying it, but like
Tide.
I'm just like I just feel like it's just like roll tide. Like just like it's just annoying. I don't know. I'm not a big Alabama guy. I cheer for Alabama if we're playing other like out of state or not out of state, out of conference opponents. But if it's in conference, then I don't want Alabama to win. But
That's fair.
that's just me. Who you got, Colton? Who's
All right,
number
I'm going
two
to go
for
a
you?
different route here. I'm going to say Big Ten. I'm not even going to point out a school. I'm going to say Big Ten
I
fan
like that. I
bases.
like that.
And the reason I'm saying, listen, I know Karen's an Ohio State fan. I'm not even referring, I mean, that's part of it too. But even before I met her, like the fact that Big Ten thinks they are anywhere. Now, listen, they are very top heavy in the Big Ten. So I'll give them their couple of teams. You know, when Michigan has it up here, and Ohio State's always good at football. But but the problem is you get into it and they start arguing that like Iowa is up there with Alabama or any of them. Like, stop. After you get stop, just stop. After you get through, now look, now that Oregon's joined, maybe you can throw them in there. But beforehand, outside of Ohio State, and Michigan had several down years there before they won the championship. Outside of Ohio State, give me a break on the rest of it. I mean, that's just nonsense. Like there is no like Nebraska and Northwestern and all these teams like Vandy would dominate that. Like
That's right.
but what I'm saying is I hear him saying, give me put Kentucky for those couple years where we actually went what 10-3 that year.
Hmm.
You know, had a 10-win season and had those couple 8-4 years back to back and all that stuff. Put in a conference where other than Ohio State, we're essentially playing in Indiana before Indiana become like we're playing Indiana and we're playing Northwestern and we're playing Purdue and we're playing that's a big difference than playing Texas A&M and Ole Miss and like Kentucky's got a
No, it
chance.
is.
I mean, I just and look now basketball. Big Ten had a little more in basketball, right? Like that's what they could be like. Okay, yeah, we can get them in basketball. Not anymore
Yeah,
either.
not anymore.
Stop it.
We got
Stop.
that.
Stop. I mean domination.
The SEC, it just means more.
It just does.
What
Just does. So I'm
their
gonna go with
motto.
Big Ten.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
I
go Big
like
Ten
that.
fan
I like
bases.
that. I'm going to go. I feel like this one might surprise you. But for another one that is just so annoying. Let's see if you can guess the frame. So it's another football team. They live
Pro.
off of. Hold on, just listen. No, college. They live off of decades of old glory. And these fans truly act like they have been a national powerhouse or like they are the pin for years. And they always, whenever they do anything, it's one, because their schedule has been weak as all get out. And they also always struggle whenever they actually make it to the postseason. Other than last year. Last year, they do you know what team I'm talking about? They don't even have a conference.
Oh, Notre Dame. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
cannot stand Notre Dame fans. And there's a
Yeah.
couple that are just like in my head right now that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just thinking
I
about.
know
Like,
exactly
and,
who you're talking about.
and it's just like, I, I don't understand. Like it would be different. Like if like when I say like living off of decades of old glory, like if it was like maybe early 2000s, I wouldn't consider that. But like we're talking decades ago.
Right.
Like not even in my lifetime have I ever seen, other than your cheating girlfriend or fake girlfriend guy. Uh,
Anti-Teo.
like that. Now, granted, I do
Biggest
like their
storyline they've had.
exactly. I do like their coach. I
Oh
think he's
yeah.
a really good coach this year. I thought that Notre Dame had a good season this year, but I'm really basing this also off of every season up
Oh
until
yeah.
last year. I mean, like it's just too much for me. Like the amount of insanity I think that these fans live off of. And some people are like, well, Kentucky lives off of old success. Nah, I don't really consider that really necessarily old success. I mean, especially like,
Right.
I mean, we're like 2018, 19 was still, we had pretty successful years. I mean, we had a successful year last year. I don't want to bring Kentucky into this, but it was just, man, I can't stand Notre Dame fans. But go ahead with your other one.
All right. My next one is gonna be they bring this to the game and they shake it nonstop, and it's the worst sound in the world, and they're not relevant most of the time, but for some reason they've thrown stuff on the floor. They bring the cowbells. Mississippi State, get out of here. Kick them out of the conference. Irrelevant, unbelievable nonsense. I can't stand it. They sit there and did that. They're the ones that threw stuff on the floor at Boogie Cousins. They're the ones that
Call
got the
me.
phone number,
Call me.
and started texting them. They always do the cowbells. Trash cowbells. That's all nonsense. You're irrelevant. You have nothing.
Yeah.
No good at anything. Like truthfully, you are okay at everything and not good at anything. Just kick
You
them
have
off.
nothing.
They can float into the Gulf of America, for all I care. But
That's
they
right. Go for America. America.
so Mississippi State is my other one.
I didn't see that one coming. But I understand it. I get it.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
we could always go with the classics of the Louisville, Tennessee, Duke, but I was gonna mix it up.
Well,
You
yeah, I
going with
know. And that
Tennessee or Duke, Louisville?
I'm bringing one in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So
understandable, but
listen, I mean this wholeheartedly. Like, I can't stand Duke fans, but I can tolerate them. I can't stand Louisville fans, but
yeah, I'm the same way.
I can tolerate them.
Tennessee
But
would have been
if there is one fan base, and I didn't
yeah,
even choose a sport, I'm just talking about all around. If there is one
yeah,
fan base that I can't stand, like my preacher is a Tennessee fan. Our
yeah.
other miss is a Tennessee fan.
Several of
Like,
our friends or people we know
I
and golf with, yeah, are
cannot
Tennessee fans.
stand Tennessee fans. For one, they have the most annoying chant I have ever heard in my life, and like, if you have ever been, like, it's used way too much. Like, whenever we went to the SEC basketball, that's whenever I was just like, okay, they really have
How
nothing
many
else.
times they play Rocky Top?
How many times I have to hear Rocky Top? Like, it's catchy. I'm not taking anything. Like,
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
saying, well, you're just saying
yeah,
that because it's not. No, it's a very catchy thing, but it was like every media timeout, or every
right,
not even media. Every time I was like,
right.
Rocky Top, I'm like, is this all y'all have? Like, is there no other, like, chants or cheers or anything? But let's go. Another reason I hate Tennessee, or I cannot stand Tennessee, is because I feel like Tennessee fans always feel disrespected, or they feel as if like they're
Right,
the or they're
right.
underdog, and I'm just like, what? Like,
What are you
what?
doing?
What?
Right,
Like, I guess more so than anything, it's their football program in that aspect, because, and basketball, I guess, but they always have this sense of just like, man, they disrespect us in the SEC. They think we're not. Where are you getting this from? I mean,
right.
like, I'll admit Tennessee's pretty solid, like, across the board. Like, I have never
Oh
been
yeah,
one. Uh, and it's an analogy to it. Like, I think when I think of Tennessee, seriously, this is what I think they are kind of like, they're that kid in a classroom who always feels like the teacher's picking on them, but
right.
everybody else understand, like, the teacher isn't picking on them. Like, they always feel like they have to stick their chest out a little bit more and be like, "Don't be picking on me." Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah. They're at a weird stage where they don't want to act like a winner, but they think they're a winner.
well, and that leads into my
So you
next
need to do
point.
either two of them. If you're gonna be a winner, act like a winner.
Yeah. Well, that goes right into my next. So my last point for the whole Tennessee fan base, and if you're a Tennessee fan base, you can text me, hit me up. I mean, I mean, this is factual. Uh, I feel like Tennessee fans feel like they are like the pinnacle of college sports programs, like, all collectively together. Like when you're talking about, well, our baseball team is successful, our football team's successful, our basketball team's successful. This is like, we're the best in the SEC as far as when you take all the sports and like, but then I'm like, dude, have you ever thought about any of your postseason success other than baseball 2 years ago?
Right.
When was the last time that you made a Final Four in basketball?
Never.
Oh, never. Yeah, you're right. Never. When was the last time that you won a game in the postseason for football?
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, like, and then they're like, well, at least we made it there. Like, I'm not acting like we're a
All
good
right.
football program. Like, I'm not sitting over here doing that. Now, basketball, I am. I am acting like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't stand Tennessee. I can't. And that,
Yeah.
that pukey orange, I mean, that's just another one. Like, it's just so ugly. Like, the
Yeah.
checkerboard, man, I am so glad we got rid of that
The-
checkerboard.
Yeah. The thing that gets me with Tennessee fans is they want to be praised like Alabama or Georgia or something like that, but at the same time they want to act like they're not on that level. Like, look, they found out real quick. They went to Ohio State in football and got absolutely destroyed.
Didn't
Like,
even look like the same
no,
Tennessee
they
team.
found out they're not on that level. And I mean, let's be honest. How many times they all of a sudden they've been on all these couple of these football probations. They've
Yeah.
had I mean, some of these stuff. I mean, so who knows? I mean, they've kind of been a little wild ran here. I mean, Nico
Uh-huh.
left. He's at UCLA now.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, if you are a Tennessee fan, though, and you are listening, it's not that we don't respect you. It's just the program itself and everything that comes with it. Just as we expect probably you to think the same way as Kentucky. But
yeah,
hopefully we gain some listeners and followers. Hopefully they'll send it to some of their Tennessee fans so they can hit us up. But anyways, let's move on to our next topic. Good little thoughts there, Colton, on the annoying fan bases. But football, NFL is back. They had the Hall of Fame game last week where the Lions faced the Chargers. And then let's talk a little bit about this Micah Parsons drama we got going on. I'm gonna let you
yeah,
kind of, and I already told you, I'm gonna let you take lead on this Hall of Fame game. I didn't get to
yeah,
watch a lot of that, and then I'm gonna probably talk a little bit of the Micah Parsons. I'll take a little lead on that, and you can comment here and there. But what about this Lions Chargers game, Hall of Fame?
yeah. So I mean, football's back. That's awesome because that means that game last week. I can't remember what they said, but essentially there's at least some form of football, whether it's preseason or something, all the way until the second week of February, whenever Super Bowl is. So there's not another week until now that's not some form of football being played, whether it's preseason or college or something. So we're back. We're back in football. So it's the Hall of Fame game. Obviously starters, stuff like that's not playing. But it's pretty much the kickoff of the NFL season, given the first preseason game. The Chargers looked really good. Trey Lance, a guy that's been a guy that was a former number 3 overall pick. Didn't work out at the 49ers. They didn't have a lot of reps. He went to Dallas for a little bit. Now he's at Chargers. Who knows? He could end up being one of those like Sam Darnold's, those guys that were, top 5, top 10 picks, and, it didn't work out early, and maybe they find their groove. Obviously, Justin Herbert's their starting quarterback, but Lance getting some time, and he looked pretty good. Chargers looked good. The Lions did not. And look, it was a preseason game. There's not a lot of starters. But it's interesting because the Lions lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. They lost their offensive and defensive coordinators that both took head
And
coaching
explain,
jobs.
Ben Johnson went to Chicago.
And Ben Johnson went to Chicago so now not only did they look terrible on offense, but like this guy's got to come in and replace someone who's one of the best like creative minds on the offensive side in football. And you got to play him in your division. So and he knows what you ran on offense last year. He knows every set. So it's not like you can come in and be like, okay, we're going to try to mimic what he done. Because he knows. So now you have to find a way to be creative, but not his type of creative. And look, it's hard. We've seen different things. Josh McDaniels, when he left the Patriots a couple of times, they all of a sudden went downhill. I mean, yeah, coordinators matter. We'll see. The Buccaneers have looked really good with Liam Cohen from Kentucky the last couple of years. Baker Mayfield has had a revival. Like, he turned into one of these top QBs in the league. He took the head coaching job at Jacksonville. Does Baker fall back off? Does these type of things happen? So, those are storylines going into the season. But yeah, the Lions one, it's interesting. You can't tell a whole lot because there's no starters, but still, you could definitely see the difference in the sets and the plays and stuff like that. That you just Ben Johnson's not there anymore, and it'll be interesting to see if the Lions can remain at the top there without him and Aaron Glenn there. But overall, just happy that football's back. The Chargers, I was talking to Dylan beforehand. The sucky part about football is that you wish that you could get through a season and no injuries happen, but they're coming, right? And a lot of times they're coming to some of your main players. The Chargers in practice yesterday lost their Pro Bowl tight end or a Pro Bowl right tackle, Rashawn Slater, the patella tendon, out for the season. We're talking about a guy who he just signed last week a 4-year extension, like a big old contract. And there he is out for the season, just in practice before the season even started. So, that stuff's going to happen. But overall, excited for football to be back. So
yeah, I think it's interesting too for the Lions. If you didn't really have a team that had a chance this year, it seemed like to me what I was reading on the internet and what I could gather on just any other neutral fan bases that really like their teams, like for example the Titans, didn't have a chance. Like we,
big Lions fan.
we were big Lions. Like we
Yeah,
cheered for
I'm
the
rooting for
Lions.
them,
Like
100%.
I think a lot of people like Dan Campbell. I think a lot of people like what he has built. What he kind of like. He tries to instill in his players like hard work, like we're going to beat you, we're going to go through a brick wall for each other.
And for the
that
most
kind of
part,
that.
they've done it through the draft. Like, they don't have a whole lot of players on that team that are stars that like they haven't drafted, right? Goff, but like Gibbs and Hutchinson and all their offensive line, they built their entire offensive line from the draft. And that's
so it is good though for them to be good and relevant. So obviously, I think that's the goal. Like, we want them to be good just as much as they want themselves to be good. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about this Micah Parsons drama. Colton, I feel like Cowboys can't get it right, man. Like, they always have some type of drama, and as much as I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it's got to be coming. Like, something has to change eventually. I feel like you can't continuously have this drama surrounding a franchise, and it's not just any franchise either, though. It's America's team, like pastime. Like, I mean, this is the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to hear your thoughts on it. But I'm also on August 1st. Micah Parsons, who's a pass rusher, he's currently in his last year of his rookie deal, but he publicly asked for a trade. And basically, he was just explaining that, there's been this stall on contract talks, and the communication between his agent, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, like, it's just not been what it should have been. And he pretty much, I think it's just throwing shots at like the leadership of the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. However, though, they have shown no interest of trading Micah Parsons. And now it's to the point that where we've seen this from players in the past. Now this is just the way that it works now. Like, Micah Parsons he's not practicing. He's in straight clothes. He's not participating in drills. And then I read something today, like he officially was not practicing at all. He hasn't communicated with Jerry Jones since making that request. And from what I read, the front office has ignored any outreach attempts from his agent. So it's a mess. I mean, like it doesn't seem like it's not even to the point where I feel like the front office is thinking like, okay, he's going to cause drama. Let's maybe not get him exactly what he wants, but let's try to, you know, let's make a deal here. Let's talk and see what we can get out of him. Like it's not even that. Like they have no interest of that. And then Micah Parsons, on the other hand, is not even practicing. So both parties are not getting anything. Like it's like it's just a mess. And for this to come from a guy who has his own podcast, who talks like last year, I remember listening to a couple kids like he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy, like he loves being in Dallas. Well, now that it's a complete 180. So what has changed, Cole? What has changed? Is it what are your thoughts on everything of this? Because
Yeah,
this is
so
a big
it's
headline because it's a big time player.
oh yeah. I mean, Mike Parsons. I mean, he's going to go down. I mean, at this pace, he'll go down as one of the best edge rushers, defensive players of all time. I mean, really, if he just maintains this pace for the rest of his career and plays a 15-year career, he's going to be there. I mean, he's going to be along the likes of Aaron Donald and some of those guys that have been here. Um, it's just so hard. Like, it's just a mess. But like, it's so hard to determine with the Cowboys because the Cowboys went from being a certain franchise to a billion-dollar franchise. Like, I mean, they are the most expensive like franchise in the country, and Jerry Jones is pretty much the reason for that. So, like, I sit there and say all this, but like, it seems messy. But you turn on Get Up, right? You turn on First Take. Even the years when the Cowboys were like 500, it's they talk about them every morning in every episode. Whether they talk about how good they are, they talk about the downfall of them. They talk about them everywhere you go. And so it's hard for me. And like, that's just bringing in more money, more publicity for the Cowboys. And while whether it looks bad or good, so it's hard for me to tell. Like right now, is Jerry Jones playing a media game? Is he playing a publicity game? Like Micah Parsons, is he bringing this out? But like, are they gonna? It's not gonna surprise me if they work out a deal. But it's almost like they've gained all this media attention. They've gained all this again, and then like watch them work it out. Although I will say this, I was not for them paying Dak Prescott. And I was not for them paying Ezekiel Elliott. I was not for them paying some of these guys because, like, I think he started realizing that, like you can afford like cheaper guys, like, and I mean, I'm not even saying like guy. Like, I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Like, I really do. I think it's really hard to find a franchise guy. I think he is, but they were talking about why is he hesitating? Because there's contract extensions there for a long time that he didn't pay Dak, and he was like, well, why is he hesitating? Why are they hesitating to pay Dak? This is, he got these numbers because in his mind he's thinking, I could give him this, but in the reality of it, I know he's at least at the very best. Like, there's at least 5 to 6 quarterbacks better than him when he's playing his best. There's still 5 or 6 quarterbacks out there. So, like, am I supposed to give him the most money in the NFL? And that's essentially what they finally end up doing. I'd say he probably regrets it. And so now he's probably thinking the same thing about Michael Parsons. He's like, look, like, yes, you are a great young edge rusher. We want you to be here. But at the same time, he may probably thinking the same thing. If Micah Parsons can't do it by himself, that defense went way downhill last year after Dan Quinn left. They had injuries. So do I pay this one guy on our team and then build the rest of the defense with a bunch of underpaid guys, like, and they don't do no good? No,
Yeah.
like, so, I mean, that's the type of things you have to look for. I mean, I
It's a
understand
business.
it is, and that's what people have to
Like
understand too. And
I
that's
mean, you've got
at
to
the end
think
of
of
the
the
day,
business side of it too.
it is a business. People want to keep thinking like players. Like at the end of the day, these guys aren't out there. Like it's the same way when I sit there and think like when it gets into like concussion protocols and it gets into guys like resting games. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like I get it. Like safety is always important. Nothing against all that stuff, but I sit there and think to myself like firefighters ain't taking off, police officers ain't taking off. Like these guys that are going to line and risking their lives every single day and getting paid $40,000, and you're talking about guys getting paid millions of dollars plays 16 weeks of the year, 17 weeks of the year, or NBA players resting, because their
Yeah.
bodies are sore and playing 80-some games a year, and these guys are having to, we got these type of people out there with jobs. That's where I run into things. So it's a business. You're right. If he don't want to do it, oh well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's right. But look, there's always going to be drama around the Cowboys. Part of it is because they
Always.
want it. They want it. I mean, they want to be talked about the most.
Yeah. I agree. We'll see how everything unfolds. Hopefully something can work out before the season starts at the end of this month. We are wrapping up at a 45-minute mark, so let's try to spend these last 15 minutes on the PGA. So Cam Young goes out and is a winner for the first time. He has had 94 PGA Tour starts, 7 runner-up finishes, and he finally gets over the hump, winning the Wyndham Championship. He finished at 22 under par, which is tying the tournament record. He built an early 5-shot lead on Sunday and then ended up cruising to a 6-shot victory. Bogeyed the first hole. I thought that maybe this could be a Tommy Fleetwood all over again because Cam Young and Tommy Fleetwood, I believe in my eyes, were the 2 best players
That
left on
hadn't
tour
won.
that had not won, and both had chances, could not get over the finish line. Now we have one that did get over the finish line. Tommy Fleetwood has yet to do that. Had a great chance earlier this year at the
Travelers, I think.
Travelers? Yeah, where uh, Captain
Keegan.
Keegan beat him. But I think this shakes up a lot for the Ryder Cup, Colton. So
Mm-hmm.
real quick,
Sure.
rankings. First 6 are still pretty dialed. Scotty, Xander, JJ Spawn, Russell, Bryson DeChambeau, and Harris English. Then the next ones, you got Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley, Maverick McNeely, Brian Harmon, Andrew Novak, Patrick Cantley, Cameron Young, and then Sam Burns and Wyndham Clark. And then I'm going to stop there. For me personally, before I hand it over to you, although Cameron Young is at the 15th right now as far as points go, I think they need to watch out for him because I think he's a very dangerous player. He's had a fantastic last half of this season. I think he's finally found his groove. I think that I could easily see him getting that last spot over a Brian Harmon, Andrew Novak, and Patrick Cantley. Patrick Cantley has kind of just been MIA lately. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have to go on a bizarre run these next 3 tournaments if he wants to have a chance. Um, I think Andrew Novak is kind of disappeared in a sense. Not that he's not playing well, but like he's not placing those top 10s like I think he needed to do in order to make this team. Like he was earlier in the year. I think he had 2 or 3. And I think a lot of it comes down to how you're playing right now. I mean, you're not going to be, even with Andrew Novak's early success. You're not wanting players. If I'm a captain, I'm not wanting a player who had that early success who's been kind of non-existent as of late. And I think of Cameron Young right now. Cameron Young didn't have the best season first half of the season, but the second half, he's really started to play good. And you think of, well, Ben Griffin, he had early success, but Ben Griffin's also had later success. He's placing top 10s and still showing and going out there and playing well. So what are your thoughts on this whole Cam Young winning? What does it shake up in your mind? You can disagree with my thoughts. You may still like some other guy on that 12 spot possibly. And then there's also Maverick McNeely, but I think Maverick McNeely has been very, very consistent. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, obviously, I think those first 6, we'll see. I mean, English could fall out of that a little bit, but I would assume at this point he's going to be picked regardless. I think the top 8 are locks. I think Griffin has shown enough here lately. Again, like with how he played at the Wyndham, right now he shot 400 today. Like, we're being recording this Thursday. They played the first round of the FedEx. We'll talk about it a little bit, but Shot 4 under today, so he's in a tie for like 7th right now. Played good to Wyndham. So I think the top 6 plus JT, Morikawa, and Griffin are locks. Like, I think that's a 9 that's going out there for sure. Mine, here's my only issue, is I think this is where you have to determine as a captain, how much are we going to rely on rookies and how much more experience do we need, right? Because you've got already a Griffin and a Spawn. And look, JJ Spawn, I don't know. I'm worried about him a little bit. He had a pretty good, obviously, he won the U.S. Open. He's not done a whole lot since the U.S. Open. Griffin kind of fell off there a little bit up until the last week or two. He's done a little better, so he's shown, but they're both going to be rookies. So then if you go ahead and you add a McNeely or a Chris Gotterup, or, the Cam Young play on one, I want to say he was at Whistling Straits. I really do think he was at Whistling Straits.
Because I was sitting there thinking the same thing. I know he for sure was on a President's Cup. I think he was on the. I think it was the President's Cup the year after.
It probably was a
Whistling
President's Cup.
Straits.
Okay, so he's got a little bit of at least experience. So the way this is how I would really go. Is, to me, you've got 3 spots left. I personally think, even though he has been MIA, I still think you end up going Patrick Cantlay. Before today, he had played 2 rounds in the last 6 weeks. Both of them, he shot over par at the Open. He is still 23rd in the FedEx Cup entering this week. 23rd. He had 3 top 10s and like 7 top 25s this year, and it's a down year for him. But still, you think of all the guys that have been up and coming this year, and Patrick Cantlay's been like a no-show all year, and still 23rd. In the FedEx Cup. I just think he's a player that you got to have out there for alternate shot. Like, I just think he's too steady of a player. He's got the experience. He's got the clutchness. He's proven. And, at the end of the day, like, yes, he's not entered the winner circle, but that should talk about how consistent he is to have not really been talked about the whole year and still be right now going to make the East Lake top 30. So that's, to me, I think you got to make him at number 10. And then I think it's just a mixture. If you want to go one more rookie, maybe a McNeely, or I would personally, my last 2, I would go Keegan and Cam Young. That's my personal 2. I don't think there's a big difference in Keegan and Brian Harman. I think that I would prefer Keegan probably because of the personality.
I don't want Brian Harman on my team.
But what I'm saying is, like, what they can bring to the game. Like, they're both veteran players. They both kind of, like, they're good alt-shot type players. I'm not going to go out there and make a ton of birdies, but they're very steady in their games, and they hit a lot of consistent type of shots. Cam Young would be a great 4-ball player.
Yeah.
He's going to birdie a lot. A guy that put him with a guy that doesn't mess up a whole lot and let Cam Young go out there and just have to try and make birdies. Man, I think he's a 4-ball machine. I think Sam Burns just kind of fell his way out. I think he needed.
Yeah, he did.
He needed a strong, but he's fell off the last couple.
I agree.
So unless Scotty gets him on, and here's another one. People keep bringing it up online, but I just don't see unless he wins one of the next couple weeks. But a lot of people seem to think that they might, and I don't see how they could, but they're still floating the name Jordan Spieth out there. And I just don't see it, but I see that everywhere. And from high golf reporters.
Really? So I've not seen that noise. I don't see. I'll say this: as if I was one of the other players and Jordan Spieth was picked, I would be very. I just don't see how.
I don't either. And look, there's still 2 more of it. He's right inside the top 50, so he would be there next week right now. But, I still think he has to come out and have, either a really, really strong finish these last 3 weeks and, in each tournament to even be considered. But there's a lot that can happen. You're playing all the best players these last 3 weeks. So, if you come out, if you're a player that's right on that top, 15, top 16 in points, and you can come out and have 3 really good weeks, it's going to be hard to say no if you're in that captain's pick spot. But that would be my 2. I'd go Keegan and Cam Young and Patrick Cantlay after the 9 that I named. Those would be my 3 that I would.
Well, let's continue on with the PGA Tour. So, obviously, the PGA Tour playoffs began. It began today. So what that is currently there are 3 tournaments. If you are in the top 70, you will play this week, which is the FedEx St. Jude Championship located in Memphis, Tennessee. And what happens from there is the cut is dropped to 50 players. Those 50 players then advance to the BMW Championship next week, which it rotates every year, but it's actually being played in Maryland. And then it cuts it down to the top 30 players who will then advance to Eastlake, which is known as the Tour Championship, where the winner will take home $25 million of being the FedEx Cup champion. But the bigger story, which I guess I'll say it's a bigger story because of the name. If it wasn't this guy, then it wouldn't be a story at all, I feel like. But Rory McIlroy, world number 2, 3-time champ this year on the PGA Tour, he opted out to not compete in this week's tournament at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. And this is obviously, like I stated, the first playoff event of the 3. But from what I have found, it says McIlroy actually gave a warning about this way early in the season, or in the late of 2024 as well, that he likely would not play in Memphis, pointing to poor past performances and minimal impact on his standings. I'll be honest with you, I don't really care about this move. It doesn't bother me too
Yeah,
much.
same.
And the reason for that is because, one, well, he is totally it's his decision, and yes, it's not going to have an impact on his standings. 2, if he feels like he's not had past success here, and it says that he's played pretty rough here at Memphis, then leading into the more important tournaments, um, especially the Tour Championship, which he will make, why go to a place that is, I guess, more a mental barrier than anything? And, I think that Rory has had issues with mental barriers in the past. I mean, just thinking of master stuff, and finally turning over to a new book, like trying to figure out how to get over the hump, and he'd done that. So I don't think that this is a big story in my eyes. I totally respect what he done, and if we could also play devil's advocate here, and if Rory hadn't won 3 times already this season and was like barely on the cut of making it and done this, I think it'd be a much bigger story. It'd be like, what in the world are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, I mean, like but that's
And
that's
most
not the
likely he
case
would have
here.
played, right? Like,
Yes, he
given
would
that
have played.
situation. So, yes, it would have been a bigger story if he'd liked that. But, yeah, most likely he would have played. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. To me, they changed the format, and this is what you're going to get, right? There is nothing that can affect it. Everyone is starting the exact same at Eastlake, as long as you're in the top 30, meaning that it does not matter and he's number 2 and he's 2 by a long shot and he's going to finish at number 2. Like, it don't matter. Like, he's going to be there, and everyone's starting at even par. There's no advantage this time. There's no lead. There's no staggered. So, like, you just have to be at Eastlake, and everyone's got a chance to win the FedEx Cup by just making it to Eastlake.
It's a good
So,
point,
like,
Colton. I didn't really
so I
really
mean,
think about that too much. Like,
yeah,
why? Like,
you're not playing
you're
for a
almost, I'm
starting
almost,
spot
yeah,
anymore.
I'm almost sitting here thinking like Scotty. I mean, yes, obviously you don't want to see your best players in the faces of your tour not be there, but Foot. I mean, if Scotty wanted to get some rest, he has no
Yeah,
business
why
being there.
play? He has
These
nothing
2,
to play
he
for.
knows yeah. I mean, other than playing to win, I mean, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean, and staying informed, that's what he wants to do. And look, I mean, these guys are sponsored. These guys have, they want to represent these things. And look, Rory does his own things that are sponsored in tournaments he play. Some of those DP World Tour, he
uh-huh.
still tries to contribute to all the buys and the stuff like that. Makes his appearances over there, travels all over the world to make his stuff. So look, Rory does the same thing. Yes, you would love to see him in these tournaments, but with the new staggered, where it's not staggered and starting at a certain score, everyone starts at even par in the final event. You just have to be in the top 30 to win the FedEx Cup. He's That's it. That's all that matters. Being at Eastlake. Nothing else. These other two tournaments have no effect on anything. So I don't blame him at all. I mean, I just think that they're just choosing because, like you said, it's a name. Could have been anyone else. If it had been Hideki Matsuyama or something like that was in second place and sit there and said, I've been battling a neck injury or something. I'm just going to sit out these couple weeks and let it rest, and I'll be back for Eastlake. Like, no one would have thought anything of it. Like, they're just doing it because of Rory and some of the controversy they've had, throughout this year, the highs and the lows and the different stuff like that. I'm okay with it. I'm like you. It don't bother me. I mean, given the new format, I mean, to me, it's as good a decision as any.
Yep. Real quick picks. We did send in our group chat the picks, because obviously they are playing the first round today, so we didn't want to, like, if nobody did choose Akshay Bhatia, but if we're like, oh, we chose Akshay Bhatia, look, he's 8 under, he's leading the tournament, like but we did go ahead and send those into a group chat, so we are being truthful. I'll lead it. So my first pick was Cam Young. I just thought off the Wyndham Championship, I like his form. I think he's playing great. My next pick was Sam Burns. And then my sleeper pick was Wyndham Clark. All of my picks were USA guys who I think are trying to make some noise here at the end for Ryder Cup stuff. And that's, I chose those guys because I think that that's in the back of their head. They are playing for more than just to make it to next week. And then to even make it to the Tour Championship. Like, they're playing for a Ryder Cup spot. There's a lot on the line. As we know, the Ryder Cup's not every year. So that's why I chose those guys. But go ahead. Who was your picks, Colton?
Yeah, I did pretty much the same. As far as what your thoughts behind the Ryder Cup, I went with Cantley. I thought that there's been a lot of talk about him. He's done well in this tournament the last 3 years at this location. I just thought that there had been a lot of talk about, is Cantley going to make it? Is he going to be a pick? There he is sitting 23rd. I just thought he was going to come out and show, like, yeah, he's going to, like, backdoor top 10 essentially. And maybe will, maybe not. It wasn't the hottest start today. But I also chose Spieth. I think he's on that edge too. And I liked what Spieth come out and said. Like, Spieth's played some good golf this year coming off that wrist injury. He's not quite got over that hump, but he's been in several top 25s. He's played several golf. And did you see his comment where he was like, next year is going to be a great year for me.
Yeah. He just had
his second or third child just like 3 weeks ago. But so, like, he's a brand new dad. He's finishing, trying to grind the season. Like, there's a lot going on right now and trying to make a Ryder Cup team, like a last push. But I thought, I think he's in a good mindset. Like, I think he's close. Like, he thinks he's close. So I like hearing the confidence. And then I went with Victor Hovland as my Victor Hovland's my other one, just because he's played pretty well all year long. He played well in this tournament the last couple of years, even when he wasn't playing that good. Mm-hmm. So I liked him. He had a rough day. He had a tough day.
It could be a sleeper every week because you never know what you're going to get.
You just never know, Victor. It all comes down to his. Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, go Cats.
Go Cats.
That's a wrap for this episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, be on the lookout for our social media pages and be sure to follow them. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and conversations coming your way. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it with a friend. From the hills to the hollers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep that Kentucky spirit strong.